Welcome back to Teaching Math. Today we're going to learn how to find a slope from equation and from 2 points. Let's get started with our first example. Okay, so this is the easiest way to find what is slope. If you remember from a y-intercept form equation, mx, y equals mx plus b, here we have two things. M is showing the slope, right? And then b is showing your y-intercept. Here you might think that you need to draw a graph, but you don't need to. So all you need to do is correspond where is your m in this equation. As you clearly can see here, m is right over here, and then b is right over here. So therefore, this is your m, and this is your b. So this is very easy. How do I know that's m? Because m is right next to x. X is showing the quantity, right? So you remember. So right there. That's how I know that this is has a coefficient, which is my slope. So my slope in here will be 2. Here's another example. Y equals negative 4x minus 1. Well, same idea here. What number is next to x? What number has a coefficient? Negative 4. So here's our slope. So our slope is negative 4. So this is a negative slope. And another equation that could really puzzle someone if we had 3x in here and no b. So just because we don't have a b, that doesn't mean there is no b. B is 0. And so therefore our slope in here will be 3. Here's another example. Y equals 1 over 2 x plus 7. Again, fractions are common. Don't panic. Our slope is, you're looking at where's x, and that should be the number next to the x, mx. So 1 over 2. Here's where things get more confusing when it's not written in a y equals mx plus b form, which is y-intercept form. What do we do then? So let me give you an example. 3y equals 6x minus 9. Okay, so since it's not written in a y-intercept form, we can rewrite it in a y-intercept form. So to do that, we have to solve for y. And so again, we're trying to isolate y, so it will look y equals mx plus b. So to isolate y, as you can see, y is multiplied by 3. And to do the opposite of that, we have to divide everything by 3. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So then y will equal 2x minus 3. Okay, and from here we can write that the slope is 2. Here's one more example just to make sure they understand this. Again, this is not written in a y-intercept form. What if we had negative 2x, right, plus 2y equals 6? What if we have written like this? So from here, we're going to, can we write this in a y-intercept form? Because as you will notice that was the easiest way for us to find the slope. In here, people might confuse and say, hey, this is the slope because it's right next to the x, but we have to work through this. We have to solve for y in order to find the correct answer. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to move the x to the other side by addition. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. I'm going to rewrite my equation. 2y equals 2x plus 6. Remember, it's plus 6 because 6 is a positive number. Okay, so from here, we can't stop because we still have the y that's multiplied by 2. So therefore, we're going to do the opposite of multiplication, which will be division. We're going to divide everything by 2. And so here we'll have y, and then 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 1 times x equals x. So therefore, we'll have x plus 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And here's what's confusing. So what is slope in here, you may ask? Well, the slope here is 1. Or another way you can say is 1 up and 1 to the right, 1 over 1. And so when you are facing this situation, please remember that the x is multiplied by 1, 1x. There's only 1x in there. So 1 times x is x. So therefore, we do not write the 1 in there. And this was confusing for the students because when they don't see that 1 in there, they're more confused about, well, what is the slope? Now let's find the slope from 2 points. So let's say we have the 2 points, right? They are written like this. 1, comma 2, and 5, comma 6. Okay, so we have these 2 points and they're asking you to find the slope. So if it was on a graph, we could put these points on the graph and be able to go rise up however many points to reach to the next point, and then go to the right to reach the next point. So what I want you to know over here is this, that when we're talking about 2 points, x and y, we're talking about x and y, and then that will be x1, y1, right? Because we're just going to name this as x1 and y1. And then this one will be x2 and y2. Well, because we have 2 of them, and that's how we're going to count. So I'm going to take that away. And so how do we do this? Well, there is a formula which is slope formula. I'm going to write slope equals y2 minus y1, so y's subtracted, and then divided by x2 minus x1. This is the same thing as rise over run, if you remember from a previous video. If you didn't watch the how to find the slope from a graph, please make sure you watch that one. So those are 2 of the same things that we're writing, but now we have 2 points and we don't want to graph things. All right, so let's go ahead and fill out this information. Okay, so I'm going to highlight my y's, and then I'm going to highlight my x's so I can actually clearly see. You can really highlight your information to make it more accessible, or write in the bottom x1, y1, x2, y2. That'll be much easier for you to figure this out. Okay, so I'm going to go to my y2, which is right over here, 6. So I'm going to say slope, and another way of slope is m, right? Remember that? So let's go ahead and say y2, which is 6, minus, where's my y1? Minus 2. And then we're going to divide, and then we're going to go to our x2, which will be 5, minus 1. Okay, so the only thing that do here is try and figure out what it is. All right, 6 minus 2 will equal, so I'm going to rewrite m over here again. 6 minus 2 is 4 over 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 over 4. Now we're going to divide or simplify. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So my slope, let's go ahead and write in here, slope equals 1, and another way we can say that m is 1. And if you have to graph it, that will be 1 over 1. Let's take a look at another example. So we have 2 and -7, and then we have 4 and 3. Okay, so let's take a look how that works out. Again, I'm going to go in there and mention what is my x1 and y1. x1 is right here, and then y1 is right there, and then x2, and then y2. I'm going to remind myself the equation for the slope is y2 minus y1 divide by x2 minus x1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So my y2 is 3 minus negative 7. x2 is 4 minus 2. Okay, here's a very interesting place where students get confused. Why did I not write 3 minus 7? Because I have negative 7, not just 7, but negative 7. So I do need to write that. I want to mention that when you're writing this, make sure to rewrite it again. So I'm going to rewrite that again, saying that 3, well, 2 negatives equals positive plus 7, right? And divide by 4 minus 2. So just make sure that you're doing this for yourself to clearly see what's happening here. And this is where it could be confusing and you will make an error. So let's go ahead and write what is 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 equals 10, and then 4 minus 2 equals 2. So we have 10 divided by 2, or simplified, will be 5 over 1, or 5. Okay, and that is our slope. Okay, so thank you for watching. Here are a few examples that you can do on your own, and pause the video and come back and see the answers. Thank you for watching Teaching Math, and please subscribe for our next video, which will be all about writing linear equations using slope.